Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment in the Quickview series. What kind of Quickview? I don't know. Class 2. We do know that. We do know that it's Class 2. There's your guy of the day right there. Hobby Park Mud Terrain. I'm sorry. Hobbysoul Extreme MT. I should have known that. The sticker's right there. Oh! Hobby Park. Those are the wheel guys. It's Swamper-ish. It's a little bit... Oh, man. Do you know what EVA foam is? Yeah, it's everywhere. This isn't from the tires. We got a little bit of deep woods there. We got a little bit of cut canyon trail there. Again, you know, if you look at any group of tires long enough, they all start... That looks terrible. They all start to look alike. Can I... Okay. If it's good enough for the bench, it's good enough for me. Well, quick detailer. Can we detail the... Hey! Wow! Look at that. Ooh, I'm so shiny. And they smell wonderful now. I don't know what I'm touching that's completely covered in EVA foam, but temporally related to this video, I was picking it out of my eyes. Anyway, those who know will know what the EVA problems are about. Also, black EVA foam and white EVA foam are very different densities. That's a thing. Enjoy green because the Hobbysoul is thick, and it has one giant. Well, it's really a seam. I don't think it's intentional. It's where the two halves go together, but it is burly. And when you put the punch to punch your vent holes, if you go right through that, you punch out an absolute plug of rubber out of these. They do come with foams. The foams don't feel catastrophically bad. You can see they are narrow. You can see we were already leaning this way. And here's the other reason we were leaning this way. This was just removing this one. They have that kind of frangibility. Like some foams are a little tougher than others. Some foams, not about tougher. You've got hardness, but then you also have like diamonds are hard, but if you hit them right, they shatter. Anyway, foams can be soft, but not tear. And those are, it's kind of it's a little stiffer, maybe one step stiffer than a J Concepts medium. I feel like they would break down really, really fast though. So if you're looking for a foam that breaks down really fast and might tear when you're getting it out of the tire, that's your foam. And is also designed for a tire that is about 42, 43 millimeters wide, and this one looks wider than that, so we're talking a lot of rubber. As I said, no ribbing nor belting, just that one thick ledge that runs down the center of the tire. This might be the first Hobbysoul that we've tested. I can't recall. Good old HYBDX, HDBYX. The jumble of consonants that will sell you a 105, sometimes as low as $20 a set, and that's Amazon pricing. I have so many, so many. As you can see, because of the thickness, and in concert with that, the fact that in terms of off-brand tires, meaning covering Hobbysoul, you name it. Any of those RC Wow, RC, I think it's Hub Fam, any of those. Endura is a completely different thing. Mixed Racing is a completely different thing because they have had one success. They have a catalog of failures, but they have had one success. None of them, aside from Endura, who is not relatives. Endura is treated in the same conversation with anyone else that has specifically compounded tires. Vanquish Red, J Concepts Green, Ot 6 Yellow or Red. Like, they have Traxxas S1. They have named compounds, and those compounds are things. I've yet to meet one of an Amazon AliExpress variety that has a definable compound, and I think that's a big part of the problem. 121, so that genuinely delivers. Sidewall says 4.75 by 1.75, so we were at 121. That is 4 3/4 inches. So this is a full 475 tire, and as estimated, it is 45 millimeters wide, aka an 1 3/4 inches. So while we don't know what the compound is, we do know truth in advertising. That tire says 4.75 by 1.75, and you know what it is? It is that. There are always causes for concern, and this is one of those. Oh yeah, that's a good Starsky. A tire, when dragged across the bench, should, in a best case scenario, should not make any noise. Who have we got that's on a wheel? Enjoy Klingon? And that's in their S5 compound, which is particularly sticky. Full-size Canyon Trail? I mean, full-size J-Concepts Tusk? See, it's even a little more it's got a little more rasp to it. And while we said Canyon Trail, let's grab a cut Canyon Trail. Ooh, see? They all they all have their own, like, different tones. But what you don't want to hear is not the loudest I've ever heard, but with one or two exceptions, if you make a big racket when being dragged across the bench, what you're going to transform that into out on the rock is lug noise and a distinct whack of forward drive. But they can surprise us. Also, we didn't do they're stinky. They're stinky. Now, an automatic, it's going to be one of those days, is if the tire smells like pool equipment. If it smells like a pool raft or lounger, it's gonna be bad. If it smells like an actual tire center, like you've gone, like tires for full-size vehicles, that's also not, that's not great. Full-size tires can use all sorts of things, like they embed them with silica to get grip, and they're not embedding these with silica. Tires in a tire center are largely constructed for long life, unless it's some sort of aggressive racing compound. And these are, like I say, bench feel is often, the less known the compound, the more deceptive the bench feel can be. Sticky tires, you can kind of tell. All of the little factors combined, and you kind of know what it's going to do. I don't know what these are going to do. I'll probably make the Hobby Park Hobbysoul conflagration a couple more times. We will conflate those a few more times because, you know, what does it matter? Why have we not tested Hobbysoul in the past? Because typically they had a set of like full-on Swamper clones, Hobbysoul Swamper clones that were like $50 a set for 4. Well, $50 a set for 4 buys you tusks. So it doesn't matter what the name brand in it is. You've got to do at least as well as tusks, and most do not. So we just never bought them. These were like $21.50 for a set of 4. I'm on board for that. Here in the tariff times, it's really strange to watch the price of some things go down. So in that cost benefit analysis, and also looking at it, that's probably a decent mud tire. I didn't notice that. Look at that shoulder lug. It's crazy how much that hangs out over the side. It'll be interesting to see. Like, no tire can possibly be the best and or worst at everything. Every tire has a weakness in it somewhere. We've got the Endura Greens in there, which have historically, with a couple exceptions, shown themselves to be some sort of little bit of magic. Like, they make every tire a little bit better, except the ones that they don't. So, what I'm trying to get across is the inserts aren't going to hurt. If anything, they will elevate the performance over these, particularly at least in side-hilling environments. Anyway, baseline, we'll find out, you'll find out, I'll find out, we'll find out. We're going to all go together out to the course. Class 2, tire test protocol, 10 stages. Let's see what they've got. I just cannot with these flowers. I can't. They never stop. Yeah, come on. All right. That first hit is the one. Like you don't know. It doesn't have a tremendous finish, but that's not bad. In terms of what we spend, let's see, get through, shuttle back. Can we do the cut? Yeah, I mean, I would say better than most Axial R35 offerings. Forever in our minds, the Ropex. Also, do pay special attention. I know that the noise canceling capabilities of the microphone are pretty good, but let me get back to that center. Tell me if you hear there's really not a lot of lug noise. It's not a lot of lug noise. Today has the potential to be a very good day. I'm gonna go 4/10 on that. I'm gonna go 4/10. So now the question is, will it be able to maintain and sustain? It's got a bit of that, as I said, it doesn't feel like a finisher. It's got a bit of that. My carcass is doing a lot of work. My compound is just along for the ride. Yeah, right there. Nothing mechanical. A little more zest. Yeah, okay. The problem is, when we have a tire with lowered expectations and then it comes out and it does reasonably well, it's doing reasonably well, then I gotta be more intense and analytical. Yeah. That was remarkably Ropex right there. That is the new benchmark and standard. That's a half a point. That's a 9.5. That's right there. That's right there in the middle ground. Like we can get the cut right here. We kind of manipulate it through. We get that little, like, we can get hung up in the middle. Give it that little bit. Yeah. So we're 0.9 on the deductions. So we're going to be hitting pretty well in the middle. Again, honestly, I think that in an average situation, where if we're looking at a median, right there, held far longer than it should have. Looking at the median, The Endura silicone is an enormous help. The Class 2 size is kind of the best one because they don't get too heavy. It's not overwhelmingly heavy. They give you that sidewall support. The greens stay supple, so they support the carcass enough. There we go. So we get that little slide out in the rear end, and then the additional weight up in the front. A lot of that performance is being helped by the silicone. The tire is doing some of the work. A good insert has the potential to make a good tire great, but it can't make a terrible tire good. I've yet to meet an instance where the silicone, at least in the Class 2, talking 465, 475, where a silicone makes things worse. I've found that the 575 are almost unusable because they're so unbelievably heavy. It all but invariably puts you over the tipping point of too much of a good thing. There's too much rotating mass. Even if you had a lightweight wheel, even with the you're looking at 350 to 400 grams a corner, which is approaching a pound. And it doesn't help when your insert weighs more than your tire. So the Endura is doing some real heavy lifting right here. That right there, that set down, and that where it doesn't squat over, that's the insert all the way. So I'm gonna go mid-range, 9.5. It's pretty good, but I feel that there are points where the shoulder is so strong and so heavy that you could get into particularly side-hilling situations where that lug could catch and you just follow it down. So as I have certainly harped upon in the past, compound, composition, and carcass, apparently this carcass, thick as it is, the compound is a pretty good match. It's doing pretty good. Ooh, coming down. All right, silicones again on the descent. That is sad. It is silicone assisted descending. Ooh. Oh, could have had it. Could have had it. Yeah. An amount of forward drive that I honestly didn't anticipate. We've got a decent 3C collaboration here. It's not perfect, but in terms of a tire that costs this little, even if you view the cost of the tire and the cost of the inserts, which are $16 to $20 depending on the day, we've got something to work with here. But it is, as always, to be considered, right? Inserts and tires probably going to cost you in the upper 40s, almost $50. That's a set of tusks. Tusks on their stock foams are going to beat these. Tusks on a specific tailored insert are really going to beat these. So I can definitely see a space for these. They crawl well enough. I would go 4/10 here. So we went, did we go 4.5, 4.5? 4, 5, 5, 4. So 1.8. We're doing, for the price point, we're doing tremendously. As we reach what is effectively the halfway point, 1.8 points in deduction. A great time to mention, a recent tire test garnered the comment, the comment that I love the most. The comment that says, hey, do you think that you deliberately make tires look worse? Like, couldn't you have made that tire look better? I love it. I love it. I love a comment, an offhanded comment, which might not mean this at its core, But we have an offhanded comment which distilled down says, I question not only your integrity, but your methodology, the consistency in your delivery. I question everything you do tacitly, because that is what is subtextual under that comment. You're making that tire look worse. Okay. Much like flat earth theory, where for presumably thousands of years, they, whoever they might be, have been lying to us and convincing us, the globists have been convincing us that the earth is round when in reality it is flat, at least by their estimation. My question to that is always and invariably, why? Like, who? Is it the globe manufacturers? Who gains? If the earth turns out, if there's a revelation and they release the hidden government files, and they're like, it's flat, we're on the back of a turtle, it's been flat all along. What was the end game? Like, what is gained by the earth being flat and this telling us it's round? And it translates here, right? Where if I had the capabilities and the capacities to take a tire of whatever capability and make it look better or worse to suit my whim, why? What would my end goal be? Like, oh, I'm a corporate assassin, and I'm going to put nameless, faceless tire cloners out of business by saying their tires are bad when they really aren't. Twists mustache menacingly. What, like, reflect. Like, do some introspection and ask yourself, what would make you ask that question? Like, what would make you think that? Where have you seen, like, what have I done in the past that would make you say, you know what? I think that guy's lying to us. I don't know why he's lying to us. I don't know who's gaining and who's being harmed. But that guy right there, he paid $22 for a set of tires. And when he drove them, I think he could have driven them more better. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Part of me wants to waver towards 3/10 deduction right there. Like, that did pretty solidly okay. But we took a lot more zazz to get through than I would have liked. So we'll do a 0.4. We'll do a 9.6 on their 0.4, which takes us to 2.2 at the half. To continue the analogy, I mean, ultimately, I think it tracks. What it comes down to is distrust. People either trust or they don't, right? The people who think that the earth is flat, they don't trust what they've been told. The people who think that I am deliberately tanking tire tests and or others, these shocks don't really leak, twists mustache. I've made them leak to make this particular shock looks bad, and the 800 people that have seen this video, they won't buy that shock now. It's asinine is what it is. Find me another one. Find me another person in the segment or without that is testing tires under similar conditions, under the same exact, and yeah, I know, Bruce, down there in Australia, he's got his, what do they call them, the five problems, is that what he calls them? That's about as close as we get. That's about as close as we get. But I've seen him out in the sopping rain, you know, so I make efforts not to do that. Have some tires been tested when it's a little wetter or drier than others, hotter or colder? Yeah, I am not the Lord. I have no control over the weather. We're in the midst of a heat wave in other parts of the country. It's downright nice here right now. It's 63 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell by the shadows we are facing west, that the sun is still quite low, rising in the sky. It will get much warmer today. The little thermometer in my watch is red. In the mid-90s today, most likely. For you non-freedom unit people, I don't know what that is. Around 40? Somewhere around 40? High 30s Celsius doesn't make any sense to my American mind. I'm gonna go. This is pretty average. This is 5/10, 2.7 net. Do we have enough chevron low? Nice. Come back this way. Harder side. Doesn't quite. That's pretty strongly okay. That's solidly okay. Honestly, that's what a 9.5 looks like. That's what a 9.5 looks like. Now, it's pretty cool. Little catch. I'd nudge you. I'd nudge you up on that little catch. Ooh, yeah. We don't have to use a ton of gusto to get it to go. 9.6. 2.7.4.3.1. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, silicone has a pretty decent energy return, so we can bounce. It gets a little bit erratic, but you don't need to use a lot of gusto to get it up. Zoop. Come back here. This should do amazingly. Yes. That big strong shoulder. Catch. Snap. Yeah. Again, that is silicone assisted as well, unquestionably. Flywheel effect. We've got a real collaboration. If you're intent on picking up some Hobbysouls for your mixed duty rig, if it's straight rock crawling, they're not good enough. They would be, if this was an OE tire, oh, tremendous. And you cannot discount, bang. Butter pecan. Come on. Real good. I'd go 9.9. That's tremendous snappiness, but I can't. I gotta go 9.8 because I know at least a tenth of that is the flywheel effect of those silicones in there. So what did I say? 2.7.3.1 and then a 2.3.3 with 2 to go. Honestly, transition should be pretty good. We're at that time of year where the budding summer is turning down the saturation on everything. We don't have any full colors. Yeah, it's going to be great at this. This is what this is going to be great at. And while they feel a little soft, and by soft I mean terrible, I think that they are thicky enough. I don't think these should be run without silicones. Oh, that was nice. That was strong. Wet is a real question mark here. I have hopes. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Got a good maneuverability. The lug is big enough to behave. Oh, yeah. It's like 9.7. It's like a 9.7 out here. Solid. Now, we cannot speak to longevity. These might gas the hell out. We've had a couple of tires that have really suffered from gas out. Trail burner. About 6 months. They are significantly harder than they are straight out of the bag. Extreme Route Lampreys. They don't feel physically harder, but whatever that super exotic is in those things when they are born, you give them 6, 7, 8 months, they lose 2 points, 2 full points in overall forward drive. They just don't pull as hard anymore. And other tires, which should definitely be taken into consideration, anything that's made out of green is the same on the day it dies as the day that it's born. But this, I would go a solid 9.7 here, which gives us what, 3.6 deduction? 3.6 sound right? 3.6 deduction, 1 to go, sounds right. I do genuinely keep forgetting that the spray down hose has a hole in it, so it's making a big lake over there. Yeah, I stand by my evaluation. Had to use a little of a lot of bit of pizzazz to get up there. It's nicely maneuverable. I can't overstate or underemphasize. A little water. We did clear some of the flowers off. Not all of them, as it would be impossible. There'd be flowers back after we went and ran the test. They like it better wet. Extreme MT, man. Now they're wetted all the way across, though. Oh, we saw a real shine. Again, I have to be too intensely analytical. Also, flower factor. Big side lug engagement right there, but not really. Yeah, they want to do. They want to do. That is the standard 10th deduction differential overall, which is for an economy, what would go in the lane of, I mean, it's not a knockoff because it's not a direct clone of anything. That gives us a net of, my brain, it's either 3.8 or 3.9, which gives us either a 96.2 or a 96.1, which, again, Injora flavored. I would put this tire mid 95s, 95.6, 95.7, right in there, but we'll give it the 96. I think it's 96.1. We'll round down 96.1 on the day, which is really solid. That's up there with the Injora comp pin, the S4 comp pin, which is fairly specific weight-wise. We've seen the comp pin do better on lighter rigs. Once you get up past, honestly, like above 6 pounds, the comp pin starts to fall off. A lot of tires have a sweet spot in a higher weight. I think this is near the sweet spot for these guys. So in that around 6 pound range on the Injora greens. And you can't, like CBA wise, these are gonna do remarkably well. I wanna say that these test even higher than the Fusk, than the Mix Racing Fake Tusk, which are like high 95s, I think. There's the comp pin. There's the class 1 comp pin. There's the pro comp. There's the aforementioned trail burner at 95.2. Yeah, that's accurate. Right there with the Wild Peak. Okay, so the fake Tusk is at 94.8. Yeah, these are definitely better. But also, other things that happened today. Significantly better for a loud and squeaky tire than we've ever seen from a loud and squeaky tire. 96.2. Do we have any ties at 96.1? I'm sorry. Do we have any ties at 96.1? We do not. That beats the G-Made 1905 and is just below the HPI Rock Grabber in S compound and just below the Louise Champ. Would I take these over a Louise Champ? I might take these instead of a Louise Champ. I mean, this is a tire that at that price point, honestly, this is a give it a try tire. Mixed use? Yeah. Dedicated rock crawling? I'm not looking at basically anything under a 97, really. I want something that is specifically for rock crawling. And there is always the infinite variability of infinite variables. If your rig is half a pound heavier than baseline, it's going to be better or it's going to be worse. If you run a different insert, it's going to be better or it's going to be worse. There is no other option. Overall, the odds of you setting up something completely different and ending on the same net result is incredibly small. Very, very unlikely. So, take it as you will. Here he comes. Will he fly directly over my head? Probably. I will take that opportunity to fight against the sounds of the sky, and thank you so much for joining us here in the canyon today for this, a pleasant surprise, the Hobbysoul Extreme MT, yada, yada, yada. There will be links below. Inexpensive, and is it the best? Is it the best that a no-name tire has done? I think it is. I think it is. Hobbysoul sneaking up on us. Hobbysoul sneaking up on us. Quite good. Quite good. Remarkably so. Thank you so much, everybody. I will remark upon that. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. In between now and then, please, one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here from the canyon. Hopefully sooner than later. I think we did all right. The hope is, if I have one hope, it's that when we drive this back, it knocks most of the flowers off. So I don't bring half a pound of these. They're great up on the tree. Pretty. Nobody likes flowers on the ground. All right. We'll see you in the next one.